Hi, and welcome to another stream with me, Tunray. How's it going today? Hi, Stralin. Working on your Roblox game. What are you going to be doing in there? Because I heard you've got exciting plans coming up, but I didn't quite catch what they were. But for me personally, today I'm going to be doing some drawing. I've got a commission to work on for Garden, which I'm very excited to do, and a little apprehensive as well. You'll see as we get into it, possibly why, but we'll find out. But before I do start drawing for the commission, I'm going to do a little doodle as well. Just to sort of warm up, as it were. Transition. Ta-da! Back to my drawing pad. You made the test map, yes. Wait, that was a test map? What am I drawing? Let's draw. Let's draw a person doing a jump. How's that? I'm not going to get detailed in this. I'm really just doodling, getting some freedom in. Nothing too solid. I always go down with a very basic line skeleton first, and then I work on top, building up the shapes that I want to put in. As Stralin says, I don't want to make another map until I have everything set up right. Except I can make the map and import it into a copied version later. Okay. So how would that work? See, that goes against my personal philosophy, which is do what you can do, and then work on incorporating that later. Which is probably why I haven't succeeded in doing any kind of game dev work. I should be using a reference, really. Every time I draw, I should be using a reference. It doesn't mean I do, though. Put the feet that way. I want to make two bigger feet, I think. This is not going to be high art. Just something jovial and fun. Focusing on my art there. Alright, let's see. I need to get all aspects perfectly. I need to make a version that is able to stand alone without much change. Because the last game you know, it had a bunch of places I had gameplay features later, so I had to change every experience separately. So are you talking about getting like the fundamental, like the core gameplay mechanics perfect before you're able to build that into a map? Does that make sense? Or rather, I understand that. And just because I don't understand something doesn't mean it doesn't make sense. I feel like this guy needs a hat. I don't make the rules, he just sort of needs one. And some sort of coat. Like a waist jacket, I think. Puffy shoulders. See, this is how I do things. I just make things up as I go. No preparation, no planning. And it always produces some kind of result. Is it a good result? Well, that's a different question. Now, theoretically, I'll be able to stream, but I never did that. My brother told me not to. I would like to talk, but how would that work? Streaming without talking? I don't know. I don't watch enough streamers to know what everyone would do. I'm sure it is possible. You might have to use like a text-to-speech generator or something like that. Preferably not an LLM. But that's my personal preferences. And we'll put a... I don't know, I think he deserves a rod in his hand. Something like a walking stick. And then some goofy large eyes. And a bit of a nose. There you go, he's perfect. And he should be called forever. But that was just a sort of warm up. Oh, I don't need to save that. No, I may as well. That was just the warm up. I'm going to work on Gartim's commission now. 10 minutes, that's pretty good. Where's my save files? Coughing in the background again. There. have to type my my save files left-handed because that's the easiest place for me to put my keyboard, and that makes it a real pain to write because I am very right-handed. Have a look. Currently working on the map of the Matrix style killer. In fact, what I noticed wasn't even intentional, but the killer type works with any body type. So if a player has a small body and big head, it works. That's kind of funny. Would that affect the overall balance though? Need that picture anymore. Would that affect the overall balance, or like, what am I comparing it to? I know there was a game. Oh, Minecraft. Minecraft is a game. At one point, Minecraft had different sized character models. For example, in one of their skin mashup packs, they had Yoda. But being Yoda meant you were practically invisible. You were smaller than 1 block tall. And you could hide much easier than someone who was, say, 2 blocks tall and 2 blocks wide. So they kind of did away with that. I don't think that much. Okay. Yeah, it's just something you gotta think of, I imagine, when you're making these things, is the balance, how fair it is for players and killers. Wait, it's not players. What do you call them? They're not runners. They're 2 classes. And I can't remember what they are now. You can just say in Roblox remove dynamic body shapes. Yeah, so it's easy enough to change if you want it to change. Okay, that's fair. Focus, focus, focus. I need an upper body purely focused. Let's have... Oop, that's not useful. Let's have this particular head leaning back. I'm gonna go right back into... Right back into it. Yeah, wow. I don't feel strong with this. Borders here. I think I need one arm and cross, and the other arm rubbing the chin. Like, maybe I want to really exaggerate that lean. Maybe I know. Something a bit more like that, I think, works. And then get the general shape. I know how to do art sometimes. I've been genuinely thinking about going to an art class again. Trying to find one near me that caters to the sort of art I want to practice or study. Surprisingly more challenging than you think. And don't get me started on finding creative writing classes. I was looking for creative writing classes. I got myself started, well done me. I was looking for creative writing classes, and I found one that was nearby, and it was teaching you how to use ChatGPT to develop your ideas and write creatively. And I was just so disappointed that this college, an actual college, high school level, I guess for Americans, this actual college was teaching how to use GPT to write fiction. And I just couldn't. Because believe it or not, ChatGPT has a fairly distinct style when it comes to writing. And I know you can coax it and coach it to doing other things. It still falls back on very particular tropes and ideas. Need one arm coming up here. So. Kinda like that, maybe? Maybe I'm overthinking this. It's not quite hitting the spot that I want it to. What am I missing? Eyes, probably. Does Garthim wear glasses? I honestly can't remember if I've seen Garthim in glasses. That'd be a good one for focused. I do use ChatGPT for a little bit of code, but it's not advised in my college. Every time I use it, I feel bad, but I try to make everything else. Yeah, I have a very strong personal opinion about large language models, but I don't actually have any distaste for anyone who uses them, especially occasionally or for very occasional things. Like, you can look through your entire projects and base everything off it. Yeah. So when it comes to coding, I don't know enough about coding. I do a very tiny bit of HTML. As far as I can tell, you could use GPT to look into some code and give you ideas on how code could work. And I assume you use it for something like that, and you're like, I'm struggling with this, what do I do? It gives you some feedback, and then you can look at some, like, you with a more critical eye and understand whether that code is good or garbage, and you can work with it from there. But when you're using ChatGPT to write your essays, to code entire projects for you, or to... a moment. Yeah, my throat is not my friend. Or to create art so that you can claim it as your own, then I have problems with you. I was told ChatGPT is really good at HTML. It probably is. I haven't used it for it. I occasionally use GPT to... well, technically I use Copilot, but I occasionally use it to get quick answers for things, and then I can verify that by looking... like, I'll have a better idea of where to look once I've got that vague answer. Half the time it's wrong, half the time it's right. It's just so unreliable. But it gives me an idea of where to go. As everyone says, it is a tool. But it's a tool like going into engineering and you have a spanner. A spanner will not be able to help you through your entire project. It will not be able to fix everything. But you can use the spanner. I might need to be a bit... I might need to move the hand for this one. But the basic idea is there. I need to change the shape of the head as well. He's focused, he's not big-headed. I use AIs because for almost every bit of my code, because I simply can't. I made every single model, I made my own music. Proud of you for that. It looks really good. I think with the Unity project, what you've got as a baseline is excellent. If there was a way to make the patterns a bit more varied, a bit more randomized, so that it doesn't look like tiles strictly, I think that would flow better. But what you've made so far is really good. And in the Roblox as well, I've got no comment. No. Oh, sorry. I was supposed to ask your permission for feedback like that. Old habit. Either way, what you're doing is really good. I have personal opinions on the AI. I am not the arbiter of AI. My opinions are not the opinions. If you have different opinions, you've got different opinions, and I'm okay with that. Something about this hand just does not feel right, does it? That's okay. Alright, last one is playful / mischievous. Let me have a look at my references, because I think I do have some hidden away somewhere. Oh hey, look at that, I have no references. Well done, me. Well done. A video that checked is modeling or programming worse. He literally downloaded the Lemon AI to make his enemy code. Okay, fair enough. I don't know what most of that means. Like, I would imagine AI modeling is still pretty bad. Very wasteful on its oh gosh, what are the terms? The vertices and the mesh. How about something... Why did I not do any references? There are more AI companies than I think there are AI products. They all stem from the, like, barely a dozen LLMs anyway. Let's go with... You know what? I'm gonna give a goddamn some glasses just in case. There we go, some Morpheus glasses. Because Morpheus is cool. Let's see. gremlin thing. Like that, I think. Even my leg that looks vaguely like that. I'm trying to get that, what's it called? That old school Looney Tunes. Thank you, me. A sort of Looney Tunes style silliness, exaggeration. Bit like that. Doesn't need big arms. I'm working it out as I go. This one made me a little bit of Grace OST. Every time I try and talk. This reminded me a little bit of Grace OST. I am a big Grace fan. Maybe I should try and look that up afterwards. Find out what that is. Big Grace fan. It's a Roblox game, and many of my stuff is actually based off it. Would love if you could at least take a look. Oh, you said it in that sentence. Sorry, yeah. I will bring up my notepad. Give myself a little reminder to do this. Grace. Roblox. Should be able to find it like that. Yes. In theory. No, I've dropped a few frames at some point. That's fine. Do I want... That doesn't feel good. I'm gonna have to look up some Looney Tunes. You won't be able to see it though. Just imagine I'm using a search engine. Looking up some mischief. Let's see if we can find some good poses. I won't be copying any, just sort of getting the vague gist of it. Because I know what I... Oops, sorry. Bumping the microphone. I know what I have in my mind. It's just sort of like rubbing their hands together. Ooh. Yeah, I wonder if Sylvester Cat has a good one. I'm gonna figure out what I need to search. Okay, I found one that gives me an idea. Wow, I had no idea it even looked like that. Let's see how the chat is doing. Where am I, darling? Any of your games are inspired by Grace? Yes. So I'll have to look into it to find out. Yeah, to find out where you go with that. I'm curious. Okay. Now, let's have a look at my reference. And there's almost no... I say I'm not going to copy it exactly, and here I am looking like I'm going to copy it. Promise that's not the plan. And stick with that low head. Which I need to move independently from the rest of it. And we'll have high shoulders. Yeah, I think something like that. This doesn't look anything like what I'm looking at. It gives me a better idea for it. What kind of game is Grace? Other than good inspiration for you? Like I theoretically could just record myself working on the game. And when you see my next video, you know I record this on the stream. You could. I'm trying to think, and I have no added thoughts of them. Doors like Pizza Tower, based on the Bible, fast-paced. The doors like Pizza Tower. I know doors. I've heard of the Bible. And I know what fast is. I'm gonna struggle then. Okay, no. I'm curious. I will look it up. I think it doesn't matter if I've got long arms here. And I think curving the legs like so. Having the feet pointing to either side. This is looking less and less like Gartim every time I draw it. And I don't need to be so sharp. Go. I think that's good. I think we're getting somewhere. Got one more to go then. And then I need to have a drink actually. Hydrate or dihydrate. Game has a really cool wiki, so it's got a lot to need a wiki for then. I wouldn't say that's a weird thing to say, because I'm sure a load of Roblox games have got full-on wikis. The more complex and the more well executed the game is, the more likely people are going to need some help. Okay, I'm keeping same vibe, so I need him facing that way. And I need a playful, mischievous thing for this one. Any ideas? Something playful. I don't super duper want to copy the same one as before, strictly. Hi! Hi, Glurpy! You're a new face, how are you? I am currently trying to work out what a good, playful three-quarters body would be. I don't know why I'm so stuck on this one. Once I've got these sort of generally set up, I'm going to check with him to make sure that he's happy with them. Make a super silly one. Oh my gosh. That's definitely not dress. I can do this. Perfect, no? I have a feeling he's not going to go for that. Maybe adding Rome's sounds. Yeah, I was thinking that. Alright, let's try... I'm not going to delete this masterpiece though. You're going to get moved. Perfect. Let's try... I can draw a perfect circle just like that. I made pimp. Oh, references, I don't know. Let's go with... like that. So the two hands need to be one higher than the other in order to really create the effect of looking like it's moving. Then I can add in like movement lines to show something like that. Smiling friends. I don't know smiling friends. I'm not on the internet enough. A word, yeah. Well, I'm looking it up. I hate IE words. Never. Oh my gosh, it really is. It's just straight up his pimp. Hilarious. It reminds me of the, what's it called? There's an autism character that's adorable. Reminds me of that. Da, da, da. Need to change these shoulders. I know Happy Tree Friends. Used to love watching Happy Tree Friends. I don't remember any of their names, I just remember the gratuitous amount of gore. Which is just the amount for my tiny teenage brain. Yeah, I was gonna do a three-quarter view, but if I do like that kind of fly look, I think that'll work. first episode of Smiling Friends not is a wild one. Maybe I'll look it up. Is it on YouTube? Happy Tree Friends is not happy. Happy Tree Friends is very happy. They're all having a good time and hanging out together. And sometimes they trip and have a teeny tiny accident. HBO. What would that be for me? I might not have access to that actually. Don't think... Yeah, no, I don't have that one. I've got too many streaming services, but unfortunately that's not one of them. Being murdered. They're not always being murdered. Sometimes the funniest episodes are the ones where it's just pure accident. Which feels like it's most of the time. They are really just doing their best. Their best just happens to be not very good. Dangerously bad, in fact. They are why OSHA exists. Really high value fingers there. I'm glad I have been able to spend time doing this, because I just have not had the time these past couple of weeks. Last week it was especially egregious for time management. And this week I've got it all planned out. Well, I've got some of it planned out. I've got a video to make. I've got that scheduled in for certain days. I've got a big card drawing to do. Got that scheduled for several days. It is all in the plan. It's all gonna work. Watch the first episode. You'll get the tone of it. I'll probably be able to find clips on YouTube that will give me the gist of the vibe. Sounds like the sort of thing younger me would have liked. Not that older me doesn't like it, just... I just don't know what older me likes. Older me likes more thinky ones. Ones that make your brain hurt. Okay, I think he's been mewing a lot here. Don't need him mewing that hard. Pretty sure Darth Emorzy has the jawline. I've got lots of things to research after this one, so I've got to play Grace, or at least look into it, and I've got to look up Smiling Friends. Yeah, definitely something my young self would have really enjoyed. Smaller eyes for the sideways look. And then the beard goes around it. Goddamn, if you're watching, I don't think you are, but if you end up watching this, don't worry if like the beard isn't intrinsic to you. If you ever feel like shaving it off, don't worry. I don't think any of what I just said came out the right way, but I know what I meant. Okay. Something like that, I think. With the off-kilter eyebrows. Doesn't really look like he's scheming. Gotham, I turned you evil. Hope you don't mind. There we go. Well, without any feedback from Gotham right now, which I will have to get, I think that's it. I haven't got anything else planned. I haven't got enough time to jump into Roblox, because by the time I've all sorted that out, it'll be 7 o'clock. And that's my time up for the day. So I think we're going to call this early, unless there's anything anyone else wants to talk about. It doesn't need to be turned, you idiots. I hope he likes these. Because once, like, if he likes these, I'll clean them up and make them a lot neater. Going for the real cartoony style at top. More Looney Tunes. And all that. Realism isn't the word I want to use here. More... less Looney Tunes. Yeah, Looney Tunes. Classic Looney Tunes. So good. I still think they are like modern mandatory watching for cartoons. Ooh, big stretch. Yeah. Okay, well. I'm happy. I hope you're happy. Thank you very much for watching. And if you've watched the VoD, thank you for watching it this far. And I hope you have a good week. I'll be back in 2 weeks on the 10th. Space Jam is the real MVP. Not the best of Looney Tunes, but dang was it good. Have a good one. Bye. Johnny.